So hello traders, very good morning and welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 206 and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. So let me just quickly share my screen and let's study the auction development path which developed yesterday. And are there any intraday, setups in terms of, which we can trade today? Just a second. Okay. So, first of all, I'll just quickly jump to the daily chart. And from the daily chart, what we see is we have a good gap up. So this is the gap which came in. We have this nice gap and the auction closed higher. So auction closed with a bullish. And this is, I would say, the all-time high. The Nifty is nearing the all-time high, and it's mainly the event-driven sentiment which is, taking the auction higher. Okay. So overall, the auction is closed with a bullish sentiment. Second thing is, so this was a gap, and what I'll do is I'll just so this much gap is left, and also I think I can also extend this gap to this region. Okay. So overall, one time framing is, so yesterday's auction, if you see, so this is an hourly chart, and overall the auction is just one time framing higher. Okay, nothing much has changed. A lot of people, they were just buying, and the auction closed around near the highs of yesterday. Okay, so are there any HVNs? Yes, there are HVNs. We have got one HVN here, one HVN here, and one more HVN here. Okay, so we have got multiple HVNs. So this is one HVN, so I'll just mark it on the market profile chart. And this reference is also a weaker reference. So this is one HVN. So this is that HVN. This is that HVN. I'll remove this reference. So this is now just remove this. This is the low, and this is the gap. Okay, so these are some of the references which I'm carrying forward today. And today what I'm expecting is whether we are seeing continuation to the higher side, or whether we are seeing balancing around the highs, or whether we are seeing rejection. Okay. Odds are high that so this is the first auction development path, this is the second auction development path, and this is the third auction development path. Odds are high that the first and the second path can happen, can develop. There are some references, so we have got one weaker reference here. There was one, but this is clear, this is also not clear. So there is just one weaker reference, and overall, if you study the structure, the auction, so there is no axis around the highs, but there is an axis around the lows. So there is a single print zone here, and this is not a good high. So I'm expecting this to be cleared and continue to the higher side. So due to the event driven, so the US election happening, and everyone is just anticipating. Surprisingly, yesterday evening or late evening when I was looking at it, the gold prices and the Nifty prices, they both are increasing. So there are rumors that gold will be about rupees 60,000. I don't know how true is that. And the best thing is to sell the rumors and buy the news, or sell the news. So just stay away if you are not at all clear in terms of where the direction is happening, developing, and which way the market is gonna go. Don't gamble your hard-earned money. it's better to just stay away and to do nothing. Okay, just observe the auction and just observe how the overall market is developing. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share for today. The time is 9:12 and we are still 3 minutes to go. But before that, let me just maximize this chart. I'll just hide this. Yeah. So nothing much has changed. There is a gap formed because of the election, and everyone is just jumping the gun. So don't jump the gun. This is the gap. Okay, it's pretty good gap. Let me see to how many points. About 83 points or 85 points gap. That's fine. So today we need to see whether we see continuation to the upside or whether we see filling the gap. Odds are less that the gap will be filled because a lot of buying sentiment came in yesterday. So I'm expecting buyers to again continue push higher. Volume is decent enough, not compared to the the previous day, but volume is pretty decent enough. Yeah, so this transaction, the volumes are pretty decent enough. The range is not steeply, but slowly moving down. Uh, yeah, I think nothing on the 1 minute chart. So there are this reference. So these are the support zones wherein buyers will come in and they will try to take the auction higher. Okay, guys. So the time is 9:14. In the meantime, if you have got any comments, feel free to use the live chat function. And I think the auction will begin in next in a few seconds, couple of seconds. So let's see which way the market develops and how which auction path develops for today. I'm having some bandwidth issues. I don't know why. Okay, so the auction is open around the highs. Auction is trying to come within the yesterday's range. I'm just looking at the order flow chart here. So I'll just remove all the markings of the drawings. So auction opened above the yesterday's range or out of yesterday's range, and it quickly moved within the range of yesterday. So this means that those buying which came in yesterday, they are just booking their positions because they would be expecting some further gap up. There is no gap up opening. The auction has opened within. The auction is just trading around yesterday's range. So sellers will be seen active today in dominance today. So let's see whether that happens or not. Nothing much from the volume profile chart. I'm just looking at the order flow chart. Massive selling coming in, or profit booking is going on. So about only 2,700 contracts traded. So not big volume from the market open. and now the VWAP is tagged and it's just tagging that and going higher. So buyers are stepping in, and the low of today is around the so the low is not secure. We might expect the low to be tagged today. We have a weak low, and the option is again we are trying to get out of the yesterday's range. Buyers are stepping in. Volume flow is just 3,500. We are still 2 minutes to go. So choppiness action seen. So how buyers are stepping in? If you study the wicks, WICKS, so that this is the, you see the wicks, pretty good wicks forming, showing some of the buying strength. And now we are just tagging the high of yesterday and just chopping around that level. So one of the trade location which I see is you can take a short trade targeting the low of today, keeping your stop loss above the high of today. So this is a 1:2, 1.5 or 1:2 risk reward ratio, trade. So one trade is currently being seen. So now we are just chopping around VWAP. Volumes are just 5,000 contracts. So overall bearish candle, delta is negative. 5,400 contracts, we are just 20 seconds to go, and the option is finding some level of support on the VWAP. Let me just jump to the minute chart. It is just hovering around VWAP. Delta is negative, but no heavy selling coming in. Okay, so this is that HVN. So you should be now out of the trade because the stop loss should be hit. So multiple HVNs, multiple references getting formed. Okay, so the high is getting tagged. So you should be out of the trade. So the first 5 minute, 5,600 contracts traded, and now we are seeing continuation to the higher side. So the first trade which I shared is where the stop loss should be hit. You should be out of the trade. So delta has shifted to positive. Delta is rising. But okay, volume 5600 compared to yesterday where we had some 10,000 plus volumes right in the market open. It was not 10,000, was it 12,000 or 14,000? Not able to recollect, but pretty heavy volume came in yesterday. Okay, so we are just chopping. We are in the all-time high, and a lot of traders, what they will be doing is it's all-time high, so they will be going in the opposite direction, providing supply. So right now we are getting a lot of supply coming in. Supply meaning sellers, they would be very active. So the auction opened above yesterday's range or out of yesterday's range, and it is getting rejected from the yesterday's range. So now we should see continuation to the higher side. If we don't see that, then that means that all this buying activity which is happening is not good buying. It is just short term, or in the money, or I would say at the money traders, trading money, or just speculating and taking the option higher. So some sort of rejection getting seen here. So comment from Nitish is delta is plus volume and minus volume sum. So delta is I would not say plus volume minus volume. It is the difference between the buyers and sellers. So how many contracts buyers have and how many contracts the sellers have. So the difference, or the difference between buyers and sellers, that's what delta is. So this showed that it closed with a bearish candle showing negative, so it means that more amount of sellers were there compared to buyers. Here the delta has shifted to positive and now it's slightly decreasing. So contracts are 3200 contracts, and again we are nearing the VWAP. High is secure. Now we are just trading around the open. Okay, so the second 5-minute candle formed with a doji candle, positive delta, but volumes are less compared to the first 5-minute. And now we should see continuation from the sellers. They did a pretty good job in taking the auction down. Now we are just chopping around VWAP. So this reference is VWAP and also the high of yesterday. So a very important level. So this we need to see whether it acts as the level of support or resistance. Right now it is acting as the level of support. So just wait and watch. Don't take any trades. So a lot of choppiness action is going on, that is expected. One data point is the low of today is weaker, so expect it to tag today. Again, indecisiveness going on, doji candle getting formed. Auction is just trading around the half back. Volumes are completely dried out with just 600 volume. and this is an important reference, the high of yesterday, also the close of yesterday, just chopping around those levels. So a lot of uncertainty, there is no clarity in terms of direction, so just stay away. Expect sellers to step in. As I shared, supply will be pretty good. So supply is coming in, and is there any absorption of supply or absorption of demand? We need to observe that. We are at a very important reference level. The overall tempo is slowing down. We are still 2 minutes to go. About only 1,000 contracts traded. So sellers are picking in. So tempo is slowing down. If you want to take another trade, you can take a short trade, a risky trade. But I would advise not to do that. Okay, so sellers are stepping in, absorption of supply is going on. Auction closed below VWAP. There is slight divergence in delta. So I'm expecting sellers to continue and tag the low. But it looks like buyers are stepping in. So a lot of choppiness action been seen. Two doji candle form back to back. Tempo is slowing down. There are momentum buyers are there. I don't know. I'm seeing lack of momentum sellers. I'm seeing momentum buying. So Nitish, TPO size does not make any difference. Yeah. You can use the major and minor, but it doesn't make any difference at all. So again, buyers stepping in. So absorption of supply is going on. Again, we are hovering around the high. So this is the reference level. We are just chopping. So this is a choppy zone. Okay. So let this range be broken out. This is the range which I'm talking of. This too. This range, let it be broken in order to get some clarity. Delta has turned positive. So again, choppiness action been seen. So some rejection being seen. So I would take a short trade targeting the low. So as I shared and sellers stepped in. So we need to see whether the low is getting tagged or not. So momentum sellers would be stepping in now. Good volume flow stepping in compared to the previous 5-minute candle. Yeah, Nitish, I understand, but I'm using the same tick size which I used since last 1 year. I have not changed the tick size. Yeah. So it doesn't make any major difference. Just FYI. So why are buyers stepping in here? Who is buying here? Are the ones who bought here or sold here? I don't know why, but I'm expecting continuation to the downside and tagging the low. So let's see whether that happens or not. So again, buyers stepping in. Delta is turning flat. 26, 24 contracts traded. Okay, so we should see some retracement towards VWAP and rejection around VWAP. That will be another trade location to take a short trade targeting the low of today. Okay, so that's all what I wanted to share today, and I think Monday is working, yes. So let's catch up coming next week, coming Monday, and happy weekend, guys. And with that, I would like to end this session, and yeah, happy and safe trading. Yeah, thank you, take care, and bye for now.